Hey guys, Free Play Frank. Today I'm going to be showing you my 1958 2.5 ton crane rollback truck that I built 25 years ago. And then I'm going to play my favorite Jackson Browne song, Runnin' on Empty. Now my shout out tonight goes to the Flatbed Chick. Now she's a owner-operator truck driver, originally from North Carolina, I believe. She has her own rig, and the last couple of years I think she's been driving for other people. But she gives lots of really good trucking videos, lots of teaching you about trucking and safety and all that sort of thing. And one of the coolest things about her channel is that she puts her dash cam on while she's driving, and she's talking while it's running, and she fast forwards it so it shows miles and miles of countryside. And looks great, just like going on vacation. Reminds me of my old days when I used to drive. So alright, let's get to it. So this is my 1958 crane and tilt deck rollback truck. I've had this for 25 years. I bought it in I think 95 and restored it. It took me 10 years to restore this one and to build the deck and get it all up and running and everything. So by about 2004 I had this thing on the road. And I was using it to haul scrap and move machinery and stuff like that from auctions and so on. It's a good truck. I like driving it. The only thing I didn't like about it was the brakes, because all these old trucks, like as you guys probably know, you can't get parts for the brakes anymore. And I did this truck in the late 90s, so I was still able to get all the parts then to rebuild the brakes, and got the brakes working good as I could back then. But if you get to a hill, going down a hill, even empty, it's like you gotta be in second gear or you're not going to be able to slow down. So that's the main reason why I don't run this on the road anymore. Also, the government changed the rules and it makes it so strict to run an old truck like this for commercial that it's just not worth it. Like, trying to get this to pass inspection is like pissing in the wind, you know. But anyways, she's a good truck. I rebuilt it from one end to the other. I'll show you the frame. I doubled the frame on it. You can see I added that. That's an actual 58, late 50s original tack, but I believe it's from a heavier duty diesel truck and it's not hooked up. We got the Stewart Warner gauges. They're all working, and that switch on the dash turns the alternator on and off, because these old trucks, they had generators, and I've upgraded this to alternator. Still has the original seat. I had a plastic seat cover for it that I made, but it's worn itself through, and you know, it's not bad. 1958, starting to get a little. This is actually 1959 material that I had left over from another 1959 truck that I'll do a video on soon. So anyways, I'll show you the engine. Now this truck came with a 283 and a 4-speed, but I've upgraded it to a 350 and a 5-speed. Of course, this truck's so heavy, upgrading to a 350 from a 283 is kind of like, okay, here we go. I'm trying to open the hood with one hand. Okay, so it's a 350. I don't remember what year the block is, but I used 434 heads on it because I got it built for propane. And the 434 head comes on 75 and 76 Chevy Monza. They're quite rare, but they're the best heads to use if you're building a small block for propane. It's got the original ram's horn manifolds. It's got a 4-barrel OHG propane mixer on it. And I upgraded it to an alternator. That's a 100-amp alternator. Of course, the battery's a little too big for the tray. Now I had the radiator record. This is the original radiator, but I had it put 4-core in it so that I could run it all day with the crane and stuff in summer. Another modification was I put power steering in it. I added that's a steering box out of a I'm not sure what year, but they came in 70s and 80s full size, like 3 and 5 ton Chevy trucks. I forget what they call it. It's a double ram Sangadaw box, I think it is. and that works really well. You can turn the steering wheel with one finger. In fact, I'm planning on putting a half-ton steering wheel on it, because it's got the 3-ton steering wheel and it's just too big. I don't need it. Okay, I'll fire it up here, let you hear it run. Now it's got a leaking manifold where the pipe bolts onto the manifold. Put the hand throttle up a little bit. She's got that Harley Davidson cool sound. Anyway, that's a 1970 Tico K500 WH crane. I'm going to do a separate video on that. There's the propane tank. I'll show you how I double framed it. You can see the original frame, I sandblasted it to bare metal and repainted it. I had everything all apart. I rebushed all the springs. All the spring eye bushings are new. You can see here's the double frame. I had this piece custom made. It goes all the way up to the front spring hangers and it's drilled and bolted in, because I extended the frame 5 feet so I could run this long deck. Here's my controls. The hydraulic control valve all up in there, and so you can run the crane from both sides. Sorry about the jerky camera work here. But yeah, here's the other side. See, I forget which model diff this is, but this was only offered for 3 years in the Chevy, Ford, and International trucks, and there's only 3 ratios you can get with this. This one's got the middle ratio. There's 717, 640, and 617. This one has the 640, and it goes about 45 miles an hour in high gear. There's the hydraulics that lift the deck. Hydraulic tank. And here's the back of the truck from this side. I can't get there because I got this van in the way. So anyways, I'm going to get some video of this driving for you. Okay, a few more things about the engine. It's 40 thou, no, it's 20 thou over, because on a small block Chevy, on some of these you're not supposed to bore it to 30 thou because they don't have enough material, and when you're running it in a heavy application like this, or a boat or something like that, it'll overheat and warp the block. So that's why we went with 20 thou over, and they're flat top pistons. It's got about 9.5 to 1 compression ratio, and the crank is 10 under, and it's balanced. Clutch and flywheel's balanced with it. It's a brand new clutch. I can't remember what brand, but it's a real high quality clutch, the biggest one you can fit in these trucks. And it uses the original bell housing from the 55 to 59 with the side mounted rear mount. And the transmission is a 5-speed new process, 700 something, 735, 745, I'm not sure. It's 5-speed with a 2-speed axle, non-overdrive.
Looking out at the road rushing under my wheels. Looking down at the years gone by like so many summer fields. 65, I was 17 and running up 101. I don't know where I'm running now, I'm just running on. Running on, running on empty. Running blind. Running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Gotta do what you can just to keep your love alive. Try not to confuse it with what you do to survive. 69, I was 21, and I called the road my own. I don't know when that road turned on to the road I'm on. Running on empty. Running blind. Running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Everywhere I go, everyone I know, people need some reason to believe. I don't know about anyone but me. If it takes all night, that'll be alright. If I could get you to smile before I leave. Looking out at the road rushing under my wheels. I don't know how to tell you all just how crazy this life feels. I look around at the friends I used to turn to pull me through. When I look in their eyes, I see them running too. Running on empty. Running blind. Running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Honey, you really tempt me with the way you look so kind. I'd like to stick around, but I'm running behind. You know, I don't even know what I'm hoping to find. Running blind. Running into the sun, but I'm running behind. Alright, that was probably the coolest truck driving song of all time. Running on Empty from Jackson Brown. Thanks, Jackson. Great song. And thanks, guys, for watching, and we'll see you next week. Take care.